Welcome to ancient Egypt, a place full of wonders and secrets. It's a land of hot sand and tall pyramids where the sun shines bright on golden dunes and ancient stone buildings. Pharaohs were the kings here. They built huge tombs with treasures to take with them after they died, believing in a magical journey beyond life. But there's another amazing thing in Egypt. It's the Nile River, the heart of this ancient land. The Nile is the longest river in the world. It flows through the desert, bringing water and life to the people. Every year, the Nile did something incredible. It flooded. This was both scary and exciting. The water would rise and cover the land, turning dry fields into green, fertile grounds, perfect for growing food. Why did the Nile flood? The ancient Egyptians didn't know. They thought it was a gift from the gods. They didn't know about the rains in faraway mountains that made the river overflow. But they knew the flood was important. It made their crops grow, helping them survive and thrive every year. The Egyptians depended on the Nile River. It gave them water to drink and to water their crops. Without the Nile, there would be no Egypt. The Egyptians called the fertile land around the Nile the Black Land. The Egyptians learned to live with the rhythm of the Nile. They knew when to expect the flood, and they created a calendar to track the river's cycles. Imagine a calendar that follows the river. That's what the ancient Egyptians did. Their calendar had 3 main seasons. Each season was linked to the Nile's flood. The Egyptians used their calendar to plan their farming. The first season was Akhet, the season of flooding. Next came Peret, the season of planting, and finally there was Shamu, the season of harvesting. Akhet, time to celebrate. Akhet was a time of excitement. The Nile would overflow its banks, and the water would spread across the land. The Egyptians knew this was the river's gift. The flood brought rich, black soil that was perfect for planting. The Egyptians celebrated the flood. They honored Hapi, the god of the Nile. They believed that Hapi brought them the life-giving flood. Pere and Shemu, time to farm. These were crucial periods in the ancient Egyptian calendar. After the floodwaters receded, it was time to plant. The land was rich and fertile, perfect for farming. Pere was a busy season. Farmers worked tirelessly to make the most of the fertile soil. Farmers sowed their seeds in the wet soil, ensuring they would have a bountiful harvest. They grew all sorts of crops like wheat, which was a staple in their diet, barley, which was used for making beer, and flax, which was essential for making linen. As the weather got hotter, the crops ripened under the sun, ready for harvest. Shemu was the time to harvest. This was a period of great activity and celebration. Farmers cut their crops and stored the grain carefully to ensure it lasted through the year. They used the grain to make bread, a daily staple, and beer, which was a popular beverage in ancient Egypt. The stars tell us. Did you know that the Egyptians used the stars to predict the flood? They were master astronomers who meticulously observed the heavens. They watched for a special star called Sirius, the dog star. This star held great significance in their culture and daily life. Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. Its brilliance was unmatched and easily recognizable. When Sirius appeared in the east just before sunrise, the Egyptians knew that the flood was coming soon. This event was crucial for their agricultural planning. They called this the rising of Sirius. It was a pivotal moment in their calendar. It was a sign that a new year was beginning. The rising of Sirius was celebrated with various rituals and festivities. The ancient Egyptian calendar was a marvel. It was intricately designed to align with celestial events. It was a calendar that followed the rhythm of the Nile. The flooding of the Nile was essential for their agriculture. It helped the Egyptians to farm their land and live in harmony with nature. Their understanding of the stars and the river allowed them to thrive in an otherwise harsh environment.